fill up a calendar. So
we have a ton of content on our website, like how-to videos, testimonials.
I want to welcome you to my first official vlog. So my name is Dasheen and I own a development agency called Design Cafe. And the goal of the vlog is to show you my journey going from 6 figures to 7 figures in revenue and all the challenges that come with that. So in this specific video, I'm going to be showing you a little bit behind the scenes. I'm going to be giving you some tips about how I've been able to get to the level I'm at so you can apply it to your business. And then, because people always ask me, I'm going to give you a brief office tour at the end. So if this is your vibe, if you want to follow me along on this journey, then make sure to subscribe and let me know down in the comments what type of content you want to see moving forward. So it's about 1 o'clock or so, and I just closed a $4,200 deal. Closed a $1,000 deal yesterday. I have a $10,000 deal that's pending, which is going to be paid in 2 payments, so about $5,000 this week. And I have another $5,000 deal that I'm working on today. And I want to give you a very valuable lesson. If you are also running not just a development agency or a web design agency, AI automation, whatever agency that you're running, you have to, and this was what really made me different in the food industry, was that most people, they were focused on more customers, but then they stopped focus, or they never focused on increasing the lifetime value of that customer. So to paint the picture, people would sell a plate of food for, let's say, 20 bucks. They get 100 customers in a day, that's $2,000. What most people would do, they try to focus on getting more customers, so increasing the 100 people. And you should do that, but what makes more sense is, how can I get these people to spend $40 instead of $20? That means I'll make $4,000 off of the same exact customers. And so that's a valuable lesson that I brought with me into this space, is your project should not just be one and done projects. Your clients should view you as the expert in a specific space. That means that any other problems that they have along the lines of the space that you're in, that they reach out to you and they trust you. So the $4,000 deal that I just closed actually came from a client who's already spent at least around $6,000 or so, right? I have clients who have spent $20,000 with me over time, $30,000 with me over time. And all of that adds up without me having to go and acquire new clients. And so I'll leave you with that lesson, is try to maximize the lifetime value of every single client that you get. Stop doing these just one and done projects and you never touch bases with the client, you never talk to the client again. You want to make sure you increase the lifetime value of that client. I forgot who said, I think it was like Rockefeller or somebody, I would rather earn 1% off 100 men's effort than 100% of my own efforts. So one other super important topic or piece of advice is to stop trying to do everything by yourself. Your time is limited, and your time is better spent on tasks that produce revenue. So actually doing the work, you need to, not saying you need to find somebody to pay, a full-time salary to from day one, but I do mean jump on Fiverr, jump on Upwork, find somebody that can help you with some of those tasks. Find yourself a VA that can handle those redundant tasks that you're always having to do, right? You have to, you don't want to own a job. You have to own a business. And you have to get away from exchanging your time for money. Otherwise, the amount of money you make is going to be limited. It's going to be limited because your time is limited.
And then we have an Elementor plugin. Jade was trying to build like a one-pager, because we have a ton of content on our website with like how-to videos, testimonials, stuff like that. We want to incorporate some of that stuff into the Google Ads. And then video testimonials, customer reviews, all that stuff.
So the next concept is just getting in the door, right? Even if you don't make any money in the front end, which I know that sounds crazy, but I'm gonna talk about another point later in this video, which has made a huge difference in my business. But the point that I wanna talk about right now is just getting in the door. So there are these, this couple that I've communicated with for years and years. I've talked to these guys. They're really good people, but I've given them countless quotes and they've never actually pulled the trigger on any of them. But this time I'm like, you know what? Let me get in the door, because they have a bigger problem, right? The bigger problem is they need to bring their entire website away from WordPress to custom code. That's the route we're going, because we get the best results with that. So, but the project we're talking about now is a smaller project. It's just a simple single page project. I quoted them $1,200. They came back like 2 days later. They said, if you can do it for $1,000, then we'll do it. I'm like, okay, cool. If you can pay the invoice today, I'll do it. They paid the invoice, got the onboarding schedule. And so now we have to do an amazing job at taking care of this customer, solving their small problem. They paid a little bit of money because it was a small problem, but they have a bigger problem. So once we solve this small problem, they're more likely to solve the bigger problem. Once they realize that, you know, just the way that we do things, that we're the one that needs to solve their bigger problem, because they have a bigger problem. Their technical infrastructure is garbage, but they're a growing company. They're doing very, very well, but they don't have the infrastructure to support what it is that they're trying to do. So that project could be a $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 project. So on this $1,200 project, I might net, after paying everyone, I might net $700 or so. That's fine, because if I can sell them on that bigger project later, then I might net $4,000, $5,000, $6,000. Had I not taken the smaller project, that would have decreased my odds. And it sounds counterintuitive to some, and I'm sure it makes perfect sense to others. I would just say to try it out. Even if in the beginning, when you have no results, you have no testimonies, you have no case studies, you have nothing, do low cost work, do work for free. It just is what it is. And then over time, you gain trust, you get some credibility, you get some case studies, you get to work with the same clients over and over, they send you referrals, beautiful things happen. Just learn how to get in the door. You want to make sure that you're solving problems. You get paid in proportion to the magnitude of the problem that you solve. If you find the cure from cancer, if they don't offer you, you're going to be the richest person in the world, right? If you're solving small problems, you're not going to make a ton of money. That's why if you're working for somebody as a cashier, it's not going to make a ton of money, because you're not solving a huge problem. So first, you want to make sure that you understand when you're talking to clients, what is their problem? What is the value of that problem? If that problem gets solved, what is it worth to this company, right? Because that's going to allow you to talk specifically about the solution. Your job is to, provide the solution to the problem. And you charge money to do that. But you have to first clearly understand what the problem is. So you let your clients tell you about that problem. I'm going to give you guys a brief office tour, because people ask me all the time. If you follow my content from the past, I used to have this super dope, I'll try to attach something here, somewhere around here, but I used to have this dope setup. I had the lights, I had stuff hung up on the wall, the bookshelf, you know. It was really cool, but the issue was I just recently moved into this office. And the reason I did that was because my wife stays at home. My kids are all homeschooled, so they're there all day. And so it was very hard to have that separation between home and work. And it just got to the point where it just became such a distraction. You know, my daughter's almost 2 now, but she was, you know, she had just been born when I really put the office together. So it was just very difficult. And then I moved here into this office. Nothing really fancy about it, honestly, but it's super convenient and it's a game changer when it comes to productivity. So if you're right now working out of the bedroom, you're thinking about getting an office, do it. My income increased significantly once I invested in an office. And I would recommend finding a place like this. Like it's like a giant building with a bunch of smaller offices. I would recommend something like that because you don't have to pay that much for it compared to if you got like a whole building for yourself or something like that. I think I pay like $500 a month. So it's really a steal, but nothing fancy. Let me just show you. One thing I really don't like are these blue walls right here. Can't stand the blue walls. And the reason is, this is part of the reason. I mean, first of all, it's a giant blue wall. But another part, it's like blue walls are now haunting me. So we're renovating my kid's room and we got this color that was supposed to be gray for the bathroom because we painted their room gray. And the bathroom gray had like a tint of blue. I didn't know it, but it didn't look like gray at all. It just looked like blue. And it drove me crazy. And I ended up getting an actual gray and repainting it with that gray. But now it's just like the blue walls just bother me. But massive blue wall. It's my door. These are my two monitors. Actually getting ready to purchase another one of these. This is actually a great investment. The studio display, great investment. Picture quality is amazing for like all the design work. And of course, I have a MacBook Pro. This is a relatively new one. Oh shit. I'm gonna blur it out, but I'm literally showing you my environment variables right now, which is dangerous. But, so let me see what model this is. This is a 2023 M2 chip, 16 gigabytes. I'm thinking about upgrading just because I need something a little more powerful because I run a lot of things at once. But yeah, it's my baby right here. Just have it connected to both of these. My son broke my iPad. I usually have an iPad there, but I do have Apple Care on it, so that's on the way. Got my headphones. I think these are the Maxes, right? They're like $500. They're amazing quality, and I love how I can switch from my phone to my laptop or to my iPad, and it's all seamless. Really love that. It gets hot as hell in here, so I keep a fan, and I keep this air purifier because I'm typically cooped up in this room. A little tripod. Whenever I shoot content, I can stick this little DJI Osmo on there. Just bought this printer. I use it here and there. Nothing, nothing crazy. Some lotion because I had recently got a tattoo. This mic is amazing. Oh, and this right here, this is amazing right here. Bought this book bag. It's like $100. I think I paid for it, but it has a pocket in the front. It has a pocket right here, a pocket in here with all these sub pockets. I guess we call them. Pocket over here. It's got a charger right here, so I can charge my stuff. Right. Really cool. So nothing special, nothing too fancy, but the biggest thing, it allows me to work. It allows me to work without being disturbed. It allows me to be fully here and fully productive. And it was one of the best investments that I made.